You're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, but look at all my stuff.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
You see,
They won't be crying no Ferrari. They'll be attaching a pipe at the exhaust of the Ferrari that dispenses the air into the car through the window. And then they're gonna tape up the rest of the spaces so they can suffocate and die. Can you imagine the Yo Mama jokes that they'll be hearing? Your mama's such a whore. You came out of the womb like a waterfall. I bet she had zero difficulty delivering her children. Just whoop. You know what I'm saying? You know when you take a shit and your dietary fiber is in check, so it just plops out, zero difficulty. Now, I'm sure she's a great person. I'm sure she has great morals. You might be offended by this, but I gotta be completely honest. I genuinely don't think porn stars can be parents. I genuinely think that if you become a porn star, if you choose to become a porn star, you sell your body online, you have chosen to give up your ability to have children. You reflect the terrible image of what love looks like to your children. Your children will always have to carry your acts in his head and in his life or her life. You know, sex is supposed to be an intimate thing. It's supposed to be a sentient act. And nowadays, sex is being thrown around like it means absolutely nothing. The significance of it is absolutely removed. Little girls, young girls are being encouraged to go and fuck around and whore themselves out, and that they are undesirable if they cannot find men that want to fuck them. Listen here, women, alright? Every woman is desired for sexually. Even a 1 out of 10. Alright, you put a bag on that head and you go crazy. We can do that as men. We are disgusting like that. We're biologically hardwired to be that way. And, you know, we should have self-control over our lust. If not, this kind of things happen. OnlyFans girls are being paid so much, and because of that, they're encouraging little girls who turn 18 and want to hop on OnlyFans. This is a problem of men's self-control and women not valuing themselves, because I believe that when you show your naked body online, there's nothing else to hide. That is the most vulnerable you can get. You're just slapping your entire self on there, and so many little girls are making this uneducated choice. The top 10% of OnlyFans models make $1,000 a month. That means 90% of OnlyFans models are paid way below minimum wage. And OnlyFans is being sold as this get-rich-quick scheme. And I bet there's so many little girls, maybe even under 18, lying about their age and getting on there, you know, trying to make some money. It's quite depressing, actually. We're in a time right now where our society puts very little significance in sex. Casual sex is all over the damn place. Little girls' lives are being ruined. We all know the effects of casual sex on mental health. We all know the effects of casual sex on pair bonding, which is the ability to make long-term relationships, to have intimate connections. That's ruined. So women who have high body counts have a very high percentage chance of cheating on their future husband and just not being able to carry a long-term relationship. This modern culture of casual sex is the fault of everybody. People who are too afraid to tell the truth that, you know, body count in a female matters. So girls believe that they can whore themselves out while they are young and then settle after they're done, you know, having their fun, which I don't even know if they're having any fun. You know, I genuinely don't believe that intrinsically any girl wants to fuck around and do things like that. I think it's the culture around females, the culture around Western women that are slowly affecting the world around them. It's being very globalized, this culture of casual sex and dating multiple people at the same time. This thing is getting increasingly widespread.
No, I've been so like sexually open since I was at school, and if you met anyone in my year group, they would be like, you were absolutely made to do this. And I think if you put your mind to something, then you can absolutely achieve it. Like, look at me, with a little bit of good looks and hard work, you can become a millionaire.
Those people are lying to you, man. See, this is what I was talking about. This is the female culture. Alright, she was sexually available in school, and I bet that was a product of her friends telling her lies and advice that they wouldn't even follow themselves. And then she slowly built this identity that this is who I am. I like to fuck around. Her kids are gonna be bullied so bad. Holy shit. At the end of the day, people make their choices. That's completely fine. Make the choices you would like to make. You do whatever you want. It's your right. But I do believe that if you choose that path, it is incredibly irresponsible to have children after that. You're subjecting them to so much moral dilemma. You're subjecting them to so much hardship in life. I don't care if you're crying in a Ferrari or a Mazda or crying in space. You are still crying. Who cares? And how does that make it any better? And if you are conscious that your kid will be very much affected by your situation, why should you have kids? Man, it's really, really funny to see these things online. You know, it's funny to come across all these OnlyFans models, all these QBT++. You know, I want to say LGBTQ++, but I have zero problem with LGB maybe, zero problem. The rest, I think they should be entirely different things. The LGBTQ something plus, different things. One is completely delusional and one actually has like statistically, scientifically accurate examples and shit, and has been there since time. LGB has existed for a long time. Nowadays, we have these bunch of things. What are these? Nobody knows. There's so much modernity plastered on my feet because I find it interesting, and I'm passionate about talking against it because it all started since my sister goes to all-girls school. And their culture is absolutely washed, it's whitewashed, it's filled with all this modernity propaganda. So, you know, as a brother, I need to protect my sister, and I get increasingly passionate about talking against this. So here I am. As much as it's funny to have all these things to laugh at, I know for sure there are kids that are being severely affected and are being raised in an environment of confusion, and there's no more tradition and rules in place. You know, you really can be whatever you want. And that isn't a great thing. That sounds very liberating. With no rules, you know, after all this time, after how much has been learned, why should all that be abolished? Why should social norms that have been existing for time all be challenged at once? Of course, we should question everything, right? We have to be critical thinkers, if not, we'll be sheep. But if social norms have been lasting for millennia, centuries, are they really all to be challenged? Is it really a patriarchal construct that has been there for, I don't know, tens of thousands of years, and then now we have to challenge it because fuck the patriarchy? Modern culture of sex and dating is absolutely messed up, you know. It's super duper hard to form relationships through social circles and find meaningful connections between people with the introduction of dating apps and all these different online forms of communication. The world is becoming a messy ass place. That's why we have to stand up and tell the truth. We have to speak against it. Of course, ideally, we don't want any victimhood mentality. We don't want to feel like, oh, I've been resisting the modernity too long, so, you know, now I'm speaking up. No, it's entirely our fault that many things aren't speaked out against for 20 years now. And as the liberals gain more political power, the conservative ideas are still the large majority. So our only problem is that we're not vocal, we're not defensive about ideology. We just believe these people are stupid and that things will subside. But I don't think we can do that anymore. We have to speak out. I don't know why I'm going off on a whole tangent here. The main point of this is OnlyFans potentially ruining young adults or teenagers' lives. The significance of sexual connections, sexual intercourse, and little girls having an absolute flawed perception of love and stop respecting their own body, then you can kind of smell the promiscuity of a woman. Not only does it make it infinitely less desirable to have a long-term relationship with, I bet the women themselves are not feeling great about it. You know, it's just the culture around them that is encouraging them to do this. I don't believe that intrinsically they want anything to do with this. I think it is perfectly natural for a girl to be afraid of having sexual intercourse because they're very vulnerable in that position and they're giving themselves out to men like that. I'm referring to casual sex. Men have no self-control over their lust, and women have no value over their own bodies, and their culture is encouraging them to do these disgusting things, thinking it makes them more desirable, thinking it proves that they are more desirable. Absolutely not. Let me tell you, alright? As much as it hurts, every woman is sexually desirable. Every single one. You remember Jabba the Hutt? Remember Gorlok the Destroyer? That thing still gets men. If they have anything to do with being a woman, they're sexually desirable. Unfortunate. Sure, there'll be women that are more sexually desirable, but men are monsters, man. Alright? I can say this for myself. We may not marry you if you have a high body count but you're attractive. We may not marry you, but we'll sure as hell date you for 1-2 months to smash. And, you know, it's your choice. I'm not shaming you for your choices, but I do believe that people should make very informed choices. So if you genuinely don't value a long-term relationship, you genuinely don't value being in a healthy married relationship when you're in your late 20s as a girl, then that's your choice. And we will very much capitalize on that, you know, because we have lust, we like the feminine attention. And sure, we might bond a lot with you, but it's just a preference. You know, if we love you, we love you. The preference is that we would rather not. out, and it pains us to see you guys sell yourself away. Men have to have self-control over their lust and start telling the truth about preferences. Be vocal about not being okay with this modern culture of dating and sex. And women have to be making a more educated choice. But we can't even blame women nowadays. You know, their culture is absolutely fucked. It's absolutely weird, man. They lie to each other all the time. This is not some incel ideas, alright? It's genuinely true, and you know it. You know it. You know how much women lie to each other. They give advice they don't even follow themselves. And they praise things they don't mean. And because of that, you know, the culture is so weird. I hope there are women who value the holiness of their bodies more. That sounds really weird, but you get what I mean. And I hope that we can build ourselves up to be able to deserve these high quality women. Have some respect for yourself, man. Tell the truth, and don't let your lust control your brain. To better world.